Hello and welcome to the Telescope. Every week we'll bring you a fresh insight from the biggest car market in the world. We have a different video planned for today, but just this morning, the MIIT, Ministry of Industry and Information Technology of the People's Republic of China, basically the homologation governing body in China, released a new batch of cars. There are two models that are just too important to ignore: the NIO ET5 Touring and XPeng G6. First up is the NIO ET5 Touring. During the ET5 Saloon Media test drive last September, back then I was still a full-time NIO employee, I got asked a lot like, did you buy this car? I said, well, I didn't, but it's only because of a car that's coming out this year. At that time, I couldn't say what it is, so I just went, when you see that car eventually, you will immediately know that it was the one I talked about today. So yes, it was this, the NIO ET5 Touring. I should say that may or may not be the final naming. Dimension-wise, it is exactly the same as the Saloon, just a different shape. And what a shape it is! I think it is very difficult to improve on the rear end of the ET5 Saloon, but this Touring version definitely does. For those who are into estate cars, no words needed. This is so much more practical and so much cooler than the normal Saloon. Most of the specs will be the same as the Saloon version. Telescope has reviewed the Saloon version before. Check out there. So it is a 490 horsepower, 4-wheel drive, sub 4 seconds car acceleration to 100 kph, all-electric estate car that can battery swap. The ET5 Touring will be available in Europe. So yes, the most desirable NIO model has appeared. To me, anyway. The second car is the XPeng G6. You can think of it as XPeng's Model Y. Dimension-wise, it is near identical to the Model Y. The wheelbase of the G6 is exactly the same as the Model Y. So it is a coupe SUV with 296 horsepower rear motor and additional 190 horsepower front motor should you need it. And we're told that the G6 will have all the tech that XPeng has at its disposal. So expect world-leading, in my opinion, infotainment system, voice command, China-leading autonomous driving with LiDAR, 800-volt architecture, impressive efficiency, and driving dynamics that should not disappoint. But there is one area that XPeng messed up on the G9, that is the interior. If you don't know how, check out our review on the G9 here. What about the G6 then? We only have one picture, and it already looks like a promising improvement. The steering wheel in particular is a massive step forward than that dismal wheel on the G9. And I've heard from people who have seen the interior of the G6, they all agree that it is much better than the G9. So XPeng, now you can fix your UI design. Judging by your coding speed on other infotainment functions, it should take you no more than 3 months. The G6 is a very important model for XPeng, much more important than the ET5 Touring for NIO. Their sales rebound this year is very much counting on the G6. I know XPeng recently released the facelifted P7i, but that is not a new car, and practicality-wise, the P7i is still not competitive in today's market. I hope the G6 can do well, because I think XPeng's approach to EVs deserves a seat at the table. That's a quick look at two exciting new models from NIO and XPeng this year. I'll try to release the video originally scheduled for tomorrow in early next week, so you might see 2 videos next week. Another thing, you may have noticed the ID3 in the background. That's my personal car, and you can see I've done something to it, but a detail of this will be revealed in a later video. That's all from the Telescope today. If you enjoyed this video, keep watching, keep subscribing, more videos coming along very soon.